Yeah, but the one, being the father of the somewhat.
All right, guys, let's take a look here.
I just remember watching.
I'm not gonna worry about the top. I think everybody did the top, okay? So the whole reason I did this motivation in the middle is because that's how math works. We look for patterns that we can use to develop step-by-step procedures. So I know that this kind of a trinomial, oh shit, is going to come from a binomial times a binomial, oh shit. So, and I also know it can only make sense that this is x squared. The only way to make x squared is to take x times x. So now the whole problem, if the first number is a 1, it's always going to be this. That's x, and then it's all about what numbers multiply by 12, add to 8. Because that's the pattern we saw on the motivation problems. Right? So what numbers, of course, multiply by 12 and add to be 8? 6 and 2. Or you can write it like this again, like we said earlier. Doesn't matter which way. I always have somebody that's like, I didn't think this was right. Well, of course it's right. It doesn't matter which way you multiply. How are we doing there, Sam? Decent. So the only way that this problem gets difficult is to throw negatives in there, to throw bigger numbers in there, right? Step B, I threw a negative in there. So again, it's going to be xx to make x squared. Factors of 20 that add to be negative 12, so they have to both be negative. So what's going to work then? I like it. So that does both things. So then either way you want to put negative 10 first and negative 2 second, or the other way around, doesn't matter. Those are the two numbers that will make that work. How are we doing? Some people are concerned. How do you check this?
Yeah.
How do you check this?
Go back out.
Yeah, multiply it back out. And make sure you actually get this. I like it. Oh yeah. So this is all about playing with numbers, really. And I know people don't, that phrase just doesn't sound right. Playing with numbers. It's unfortunate because the more you kind of play with numbers, the more familiar you are with them, and the easier everything in math gets a little bit. So I can make this long-ass list of factors of 60, and the actual answer is a factorization of 60 that I would never think of first. I think of 20 and 3 and 6 and 10. The actual answer you get is not the first one you would have thought of. I'm almost certain. So, what I highly suggest people do when the last number gets kind of big, all you need, I really want this to make sense. Guys, all you need are two numbers that multiply to be this and add to be this. It doesn't matter which one you make work first. So very often when my colleagues teach this, they always say, get the factors of this first. Now who cares? You can get two numbers that add to be negative 11 and see if they multiply to be negative 60. That to me is easier. Now what's got to be true about the two numbers though is they multiply to be negative, they have to be different signs. Good. So they actually have to subtract to be 11. So for example, negative 16 and 5, doesn't that subtract, or combine to be negative 11? But does it multiply to be 60? No, it multiplies to be 80. Too much. So then I bring them down. So what about negative 15 and 4? That multiplies to be negative 60. Kick ass. So then I'm done. X, I got my two numbers, minus 15 plus 4. Bam. If you want to, you can make a long list of 6 and 10, and then that's not right, and then 3 and 20, and that's not, 2 and 30, and that's not right. If you really want to. And you know I had to give you one like number D, like D. Just to remind you guys, what do you always try first? GCF. So if you take the 2 out of the way, then it becomes a normal problem like the ones we were doing earlier. So this divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. Now I need 2 numbers that add to be 4 and multiply to be 4. 2 and 2. So you can stop there, but I like the person that went one more step. Bam! I like it. So you can stop there if you want to, or you can go that step further. Something times itself is that thing squared. I love it. Now guys, I want to give you one of these. Anytime the middle number is 1, like this, then that means the answer's got to be 1 apart from each other, right? That was almost a musical intermission. So what are the numbers going to be? That they're 1 apart and they make negative 72. Yeah, it's going to be 8 and 9. Which one's going to be negative? The bigger one, so it adds to be negative. So then it's going to be a times a is a squared, plus 8 minus 9. Bam. I like you guys. Here, I'll look at the clock. Come on, man. Yesterday you let us out, sir. I'm not grieving as hard today. I can make it. I'm sort of accepting it and praying. Oh, the last one's easy, hopefully. The only factors of 7 are 7 and 1. And 7 and 1 makes 8, not 3. Primes. Don't tear your hair out. Don't go crazy trying to make this work. And don't be calling everything you can't immediately get to work prime. There's not going to be that many prime answers. Alright. That's plenty. Anytime. All right.